It's the Cobry Cafetiere of cloud knowledge. Oh yeah.
Why code? There's so many different reasons. Automation is probably the number one key thing why you'd want to code something. There's a lot of business processes that take a lot of time, and automating it takes a wee bit of upfront time, but then you start getting that time back the more that automation runs. And another reason for coding is also to be able to get insights from huge amounts of data. Data is a huge part of code. So whittling down a huge data set to something that's manageable and readable. AppScript is just a development platform for Workspace. It makes writing scripts really easy to automate any sort of task that happens on Workspace. So be that integrating Calendar, Gmail, Drive, Forms, and making them communicate between each other using code.
AppScript is an app that's built on top of JavaScript. It's already a language that a lot of people already know how to use. This is what we mean when it's easy, is that you don't really need that much knowledge. You don't need to be like a power JavaScript user to use this.
When would you use a no or low-code tool compared to a traditional development tool?
Two answers here. One is expertise, and the second is requirements. So covering the first one, expertise, if you don't know how to code, use a no-code solution. It's much, much simpler. And second one is requirements. So there may be some requirements that basically using a no-code solution such as AppSheet, that might not give you the functionality you need. So AppSheet, for example, is really good for these apps called CRUD apps, which essentially mean create, read, update, delete. And that means having like a database, like a spreadsheet of tasks, and being able to add tasks, take away tasks, and edit tasks. AppSheet is fantastic for that. But when you need more advanced functionality, such as crazy logic, financial calculations, linking to external services like Google Maps, I'm not going to be able to do that using AppSheet.
What sort of examples do you have of low/no code apps?
Yeah, so for example, a task management app, just being able to make tasks and take away tasks and add and edit tasks. Something along the lines of maybe just a very simple database, like let's say our clients, a client database, really good for AppSheet because you can just have that database and you can use AppSheet to interact with that. Any app that's currently running a spreadsheet, be able to bring up the AppSheet, so you can really let your imagination go wild regarding that. All you need to create an app using AppScript is a script file or a document. So I'm going to do this using a document. So I'm going to go sheets.new, and that's going to open up an empty spreadsheet. So to launch the script editor, all you have to do is go into tools and click script editor. And that immediately launches our development platform. All this script is going to do is going to take an address from a spreadsheet. So maybe the Cobry office. Right, so we've got an address in our spreadsheet. All this app is going to do is going to take a look at this address, generate a map, and then send an email to someone, right, with that map. So we go into our project. This is where you write your code, and everything around it you kind of really don't have to worry about, except from the run button that just runs the code. Usually when you start coding, you need to do a whole bunch of stuff like set up services, set up servers, set up libraries. See this? I just start coding. Super easy. So our 4 lines of code. So I'm going to change the function just to send map, because that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to send a map using an email. So I'm going to change the name of the function. Now I'm going to have to give it a sheet, right? So I need to reference this data somehow. I need to reference this map address. So I'm going to use a library that's provided to us through AppScript. I'm going to create a new variable called a sheet. And I'm going to make that equal to our spreadsheet app. Get active spreadsheet. This is the Google provided spreadsheet app, right? Google give us this little bit of code so we can directly ping spreadsheets without having to do any funny stuff. We just do spreadsheet app and then we can start doing stuff with spreadsheets. It's super easy. So here I'm just going to write a little bit of line of code that references this cell, so A1. So then I got my value within A1. So I got my address within cell A1, really easy. So this is my address at 24 Sandyford Place. I got the value of that thing, and now that's stored in address. And now I'm going to make a map using the Maps API. So var map, I make a new map, maps. So this is another bit of Google AppScript magic. I can just go maps, and then I can just do a whole bunch of stuff with maps. So here I'm going to do new static map. So I'm going to make a new map. I'm going to add a marker to the map. So add marker. And then here, all I have to do is just pass in my address. Now I've got a map that has, it's a new map, and I've added a marker containing my address that I got from my spreadsheet. And then here I'm going to use the Gmail app, and it's another one of these Google Magic, so I can just do Gmail app, and I can do anything to do with Gmail. So I click the right dot, and I can do send email, and then within that email, I can do who wants an email? Who wants an email with the map of the Sandyford place?
I'll take it.
Gordon. All right, Gordon at cobry.co.uk. I'm going to add an attachment, and that map is going to be within an attachment. You know, I can duplicate this line of code, right? And I can also send an email to Caden. So I'm running the bit of code now, and this is the moment of truth. Execution completed. Gordon and Aiden, check your inboxes.
Oh,
Yep.
it's a map.